Yeah, and this truck is pulling off, making their way for Chicago. They say they plan to have their final delivery in Moldova in the next week. Now take a look at this. Bikes, golf clubs, electronics, power tools, even stolen Unified Fire Authority gear, all seized by Unified Police Department. They say that operator is in the hospital, but expected to be okay. Now take a look. I mean, if I could go across this tape I would, but look at that car. Look just how bad it's smashed up. Just one of the cars involved when that drill rig fell last night. The 33-year-old woman is accused of shooting and killing her 75-year-old stepfather, Michael Huff. Now, as you mentioned, this does mark their third fatal shooting in the small community in just 8 days. State leaders and health officials say Utah doesn't have enough COVID tests right now, and until we get them, they say we need to change up our strategy in combating the Omicron surge. Now you're looking here at what will soon be the site for the brand new Westlake Junior High. They're set to break ground on that coming up later on today. This shipment will go out tomorrow to hopefully be on the ground in Ukraine in the next week. Yes, a lot of mop-up efforts and checking for hot spots. Chris Wilden of the Lone Peak Fire Department says that Big L fire has got some pretty good containment, but the work is far from over. He also says fire danger is expected to increase in Texas this weekend.
Came a lot sooner than what we had anticipated.
In answer to the call for help, the Lone Peak Fire Department deploying crew members to Texas to battle what's called the Big L fire.
We really love doing this. We've got a good department and good support back home that allows us to come out and accept these other opportunities.
Weldon says his crew from Lone Peak Fire has been in Texas just under a week on what's called a severity assignment. When states are expecting massive fires like this, they'll call in agencies from other states to provide resources. I asked, what's the difference between battling fires on the ground in Texas compared to Utah? He says the biggest factor is our mountain terrains.
It's grassland, so when the wind catches it, it just makes this fire get up and move.
Crews from the Bureau of Land Management also on the ground in both Texas and Oklahoma.
We've had at least 2 engines out for the last 30 days, and we're just swapping crews. So
for Lone Peak Fire, Chris Weldon says they plan for a 14-day assignment, but if conditions worsen, it could extend their time by a week being away from their families.
We've got a 4-year-old little boy at home, as well as an 11-year-old little girl. She'll be 11 tomorrow.
As they continue their deployment, crews say they're grateful for the support back home for when they have to go out to protect citizens from dangerous wildfires, at home and on the road. For ABC4 News, I'm Curtis Booker.
ABC4's Curtis Booker has more.
It's a great day to be in the Army.
A test of willpower, endurance, and strength.
Thank you, brother.
All while remembering the servicemen and women who defended Philippine Islands during World War II.
It's just real personal. I've lost friends overseas, so, it's just kind of a way to remember them. And
the start time, 5 a.m. An ambitious Army recruiter making a drive down from East Idaho and destined to make good time hit the halfway point just before 8 a.m.
Just to challenge myself.
Okay.
Prove it, show everyone that I'm the best.
It was in April of 1942, during the infamous World War II, where 75,000 American and Filipino troops were forced to make a grueling 65-mile march to prison camps. The march lasted over a week. Many of the troops did not survive due to health and extreme weather conditions. For Zachary Burns, this is his first time participating, and he's grateful for the challenge.
It's a great opportunity to check mark it off the bucket list.
The men and women tasked with a 26.2-mile jog, walk, or whatever participants are comfortable with to ensure safety along the Rio Grande Trail, carrying about 35 pounds on their back.
This is all fun and games. We're all taking time out of our days to come and do this, but essentially we all have work Monday mornings.
Staff Sergeant Courtney Hope of Ogden says the 5 a.m. start time wasn't easy, but it'll be all worth it at the finish line.
It's a little rough. It's my feet. My feet are what's really hurting, but I'm gonna try and make it.
And after all, it is International Women's Month.
I gotta represent all my fellow female soldiers in arms out there. It is Women's History Month.
Yeah, and I spoke with members of the Brent Taylor Foundation who put these flags up here. They say it's a great emotional addition for the runners to see as they finish up the race to remember those who paid the ultimate sacrifice during World War II. In Clearfield, Curtis Booker, ABC4 News.